hmm
Uh,
So you watched Lamb, right?
I did, yeah. Let's introduce ourselves real quick. I'm Eduardo. This is Pop Counterculture, and this is the latest entry after a long hiatus of I effing love cinema. We're going to be talking to Mikayel, a big
Hello.
friend of the show. Yeah, you want to say hi? Yeah, and yeah, this is a movie that you've been recommending for a while now.
This is one of the things I want to get people to watch before you get introduced to A24, because they also made another movie called Midsummer, and I don't
Hmm.
want to show that to too many people because that is just extreme. If you
Yeah,
watch that, you might be turned off of all A24 films.
right.
This is actually pretty good. It's mysterious. It's very clear. It's very beautiful. I would rather people watching this because it's really good.
Yeah, yeah. I was really yeah, I really enjoyed the movie overall, and it is a very A24 movie. Like A24 is kind of known for taking risks on very bold artistic visions and stuff like that. And this movie is just another example of that. This is a very hold on, my fucking hair is still like okay, yeah. No, yeah, this is another example of just a bold vision, a very original piece of work. I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the movie overall, but I got to be real with you, man. I was a little confounded by it at times.
Confounded.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's okay. So all right, so let me give you my read of the movie, right? So this is a movie about man's place in nature, right? It's not so much about fighting with nature. I think that's kind of played out. I think this is a movie that's very much about how we fit into the greater natural landscape and stuff like that. What's your take on the movie?
Well, I love your thing, and I want to keep going with it. How we
Mhm.
fit into the entire natural arrangement of things. I
Yeah.
would say that that's a very good read of this movie because a lot of it is about man plowing the fields,
Hmm.
gathering goats, doing all the things like agriculture.
Yeah, exactly. Which is sort of a man trying to overcome nature in a lot of ways.
And in a way, it's kind of showing how well, it's showing how man is kind of cheating the system, and it's
Hmm.
not that fair because goats, they're basically going up and it has like a naturalistic type of feel to it,
Yeah,
not
very.
as much as okja. Have you ever heard of okja?
No, that's like one of the that's I think that's the only no like one of two Bong Joon Ho movies I haven't seen, but I'm planning on watching it.
Bong Joe said that he really wanted, and this is going off topic, but I just want to mention it.
Hmm.
Bong Joe really wanted to be a vegan after he heard all the horrible stuff that's been going on with agriculture.
Right, right,
Some
yeah,
agricultural fields are really unethical. But then he went down to like his place in Korea, like his street, and he couldn't do it because the smell of the meat was so good.
yeah. No, I tried to be vegetarian for a
Yeah.
while. I think I lasted about 6 months before I was like, yo, I got to get a burrito.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the way it works, like we really need like sites that really teach us how to make good food with vegan stuff.
To be fair,
Um,
yeah. To be fair, I was a vegetarian when I was like 17, so I wasn't really cooking for myself, but it's not a bad idea. Um, but yeah, yeah. Let's kind of dig into this movie because I think I think this is a very minimalistic movie, but I think it has a
mhm.
lot going on under the surface. What like I think it's a very telling choice that the director made to start the movie off with the goats, with treating the goats as if they're the central characters, and then the humans come in and they're sort of this intrusive force. And I think that's sort of I always say that a good opening act, a good opening scene kind of teaches the audience like the perspective in which to view the movie. So I think it's a very effective move given what the movie's about to sort of treat the human beings as if they are the not so much like the bad guys, because I don't think this movie is really trying to be moralistic like that, but to be sort of pushing their will on the natural order.
That is true. I kind of see it like you do, like the way it started, the humans came in and they started being this intrusive force.
Hmm.
The people basically dictated the goats and everything they did with the goats, and the goats were natural. You know, like they were natural parts of the ecosystem, whereas the humans just came in and took the goats' position.
Right.
And this I was so impressed by all the reactions they got out of these goddamn goats. Like, how do you get emotion out of goats?
I no, not just the goats, dude. The dog, the cat. Like there is some that one goat specifically, the mother
Oh
goat.
yeah, the main
Yeah,
actor.
there was I really got to give it to the director here because directing animals is difficult, very difficult, and they managed to get some very good performances out of all the animals in this movie, in my opinion.
I watched Show Dogs for laughs, and they had the CGI and most of the stuff
Right.
in that movie. This one, you could really tell the goat was really pissed. Like
Yeah,
that goat wanted its child back. That's
wanted
how
its
bad it
child
was.
back. Yeah, yeah. So let's kind of dig into the actual kind of plot or the concept here. This isn't a very plot heavy movie. It's more of like an exploration of a theme. But the basic idea is these farmers who are farmers. They have goats, and one of them gives birth to a human goat hybrid or human lamb hybrid. I don't know how that works, but yeah, and then they decide to raise it as their own child. And that's sort of the basic conceit of the movie. So what do you kind of make of what the movie is doing with that story and how it explores its themes with it?
So much of this movie is the characters dealing with grief, like
Yeah.
the father and mother. You even see it throughout the movie where like they can't really function anymore because their daughter Anna was so like a part of their lives, and then they just can't deal with it. One time
Yeah.
when the father was in a tractor, he felt like so mournful after Anna died. So
Hmm.
much of this movie was humans dealing with grief, as I would say,
Right.
and
Right.
mm,
No. No. I'm sorry. Continue.
that was most of their dialogue. That was most of their stuff that was going on, and so much of the stuff was going on in silence.
Yes. Yeah. Very much so. And I also think that's a very intentional choice too, because when we're introduced to the goats, they're quiet, they're animals, they can't speak, and it takes a very long time for any human beings to speak in this movie. And I think it's because, like I said earlier, this isn't a movie that's so much man versus nature; it's man's place in nature, right? So I think it's a very very smart choice that the human beings, they don't talk any more than the animals do. We're kind of viewing them not so much through the views of animals, but we're viewing them as these silent beings, right? Who clearly have a lot going on under the surface. And then as the movie progresses, we peel back on those layers, which is what's going on with the animals as well, right? Like at first we see them as just animals, but as the movie continues, we are peeling back on sort of the interiority of these animals and how they feel about stuff. So I thought that was a very clever parallel that the movie was making.
Yeah, I really love how it was able to show that in a movie because
Hmm.
if you've ever watched Nat Geo Wild, you can see that there's some kind of a sociality between animals.
Yeah.
And these goats are very community based. Remember
Hmm.
that scene where like the goat was looking at that picture and it just kept a bunch of like goats just going bah
Yeah.
all over the place. That
Yeah.
was to show the sociality, the way of thinking that a goat would be, and that's their community almost. The
Hmm.
goat, it feels a little unnatural because, and well, it didn't at first, but after a while, it feels a little unnatural because one part of him feels like his place is with the goats. The other part feels like it's in a human's place.
Right, right. Yeah, and so so I'm sticking with the movie so far, right? I'm digging how this movie is kind of exploring that theme, and I really like how the baby becomes a part of the story, because like we understand that the couple at the center of this movie, they lost their child. I don't think we ever really understand how, right?
No, they never tell.
Yeah, yeah. And so what I think is interesting, right, is that this force of nature takes the baby goat from the mother goat, right, and then the mother loses its is essentially kind of like losing it, mourning the child, wanting it back, but the humans are refusing to give it back, right?
That was the sickest one, Leno. Like I just didn't like to see that.
Yeah. No, yeah, no, that scene where they take take the goat out back essentially, that was heartbreaking. That was absolutely heartbreaking. But I think also it's a reflection, like they're doing to the goat what nature did to them. Nature took their kid away from them, and the mother is losing herself, and the father's losing himself too. But we'll touch on the father aspect of it later
Oh
because
yeah.
yeah,
I oh yeah,
no,
there
go ahead.
was one scene that I really liked. You see, the goat took the child away by just buying at it for a while, but
Mhm.
then, like when the parents were looking for her, she bought at them and brought it back. But then when they got the child back, when the goat said, "What are you going to do with it?" They started saying, leave us alone," and
Yeah,
like that's not their kid, but they're treating it like it is, and
exactly.
that
Yeah.
really shows the conflict of the whole movie. And
Right.
was
Yeah. No, definitely. And I think sort of I like how that foreshadows the ending of the movie in a lot of
oh
ways,
yeah,
right?
the gun.
Because clearly, that wasn't their child, and then nature reclaims its own and kills the father in the process and totally and I was at first I really didn't like the final shot of the movie. At first I was kind of a little bothered by it because I was like, that just seems a little random. But then the more I thought about it, right? Because like she has this like look of like almost ecstasy. And
Maybe we should go. Well, let me ask you. How you think? Maybe we should mention the ending of the movie like a little later on. But we
okay.
could just talk about it right now if you want.
Well, I just wanted to touch upon it. We can come back to it later, but what I'm saying is that I like the way that it foreshadows the ending in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
Because the mother goat is killed, so they can take the baby back with them supposedly forever, and then later in the movie at the very end, the father goat or the father goat hybrid, however you want to call it, kills the father to take his child back, and like I said, at first I didn't like I really couldn't. I really didn't know what to think of the final shot of the mother, you know, going from being in mourning to having this like sort of determined look in her eyes. But then I
Yeah.
realized she's gonna kill the father goat back and take her baby back.
That is well, not the way I saw it is that
Mm-hmm.
she's waiting. The way
Yeah,
she was looking at like the entire thing, she was waiting for for her child to come back. Now, the reason why they introduced that gun, it's actually a law of cinema. If you have like a gun in the if you have a gun in the
Chekhov's.
third act, introduce
Yeah,
it in the first act. You remember?
yeah, Chekhov's gun. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, but this gun, you see, it represents what happened. That goat man killed, Ram man killed her father, and now he took Anna away. So by the ending of the movie, the mother is waiting either for Anna to come back after she killed the goat man,
Yeah.
or if she doesn't come back at all and she's still gonna wait. Either way, she's still there. She's still there, waiting for the child.
That's interesting. See, I think my read of it is that it's a lot more active, right? Like I think she understands her place in nature at that scene, which is why I read that look as like determined, because I think for her she understood something was taken from her, she took something back, and then it got taken away, but now that just means she can go and take it back again. That's how I read it. It's like a
Of course, you can read it that way too.
yeah, it's
That's
like a
what's the point
cyclical
of the
thing.
scene, like we
Mhm.
don't give an answer. Like who cares?
Yeah, it's a very, very ambiguous scene. And yeah, and so kind of going back to the earlier parts of the movie. So yeah, so essentially, we get moments where we see the family being a happy unit together, and like I really like how they're doing a really great job with that kid. Like it's a good kid.
Yeah, it's a good. It was like it's hard to believe it's a puppet. Like, did they put like a goat head over a child or something?
I don't know what it was, but I was really impressed with that effect for sure. But I also thought that like the kid was likable. Like
Yeah,
it was an adorable little baby goat. Like when they put, by the way, speaking of Midsommar, right? Like they put the flowers
yeah,
around the head. I totally forgot
yeah.
that movie.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Yeah, no, but yeah, like I really liked that sort of development that they gave the goat kid and all that. Because like it's a kid. To me, it was more a kid than a goat, especially like towards the end. You can kind of see some inner conflict with that, where the goat child fit in all this, you know.
Yeah, it was a very good effect. Not an effect, but like just a good story element and effect. Because George Lucas always said that a practical effect is like a means of telling a story.
Yeah.
This is how you intrude it. Like she was the story, and
Mm-hmm.
she was a good effect. That's great.
Yeah, no, yeah, a special effect without a story is a very boring thing. Yeah, I've always liked that. I've always liked that. Hold on, I'm getting this fucking spam. A lot of porno spam have been
Yeah,
popping up
you know.
lately. Yeah, but yeah, getting back to the movie. All right, dude. So I'm digging the movie so far. Great
Mhm.
movie. Overall, I do like the movie, but the brother stuff, man, the
Oh
brother
my god, I
stuff.
was going to ask about that because, like,
I really,
if we're talking about the good parts about that, about the child and everything,
yeah.
well, we got to mention the brother.
Yeah, okay, so I wanna okay, I still don't know what the movie was going for with that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want like, I'm the movie obviously has a vision, and it is definitely kind of exploring something, and I think everything outside the brother, I get it.
Uh-huh.
Like, I understand what it's going for, but the brother stuff, I really don't understand.
I love and hate the brother because here's the thing. What the
Uh-huh.
fuck is he? Like, oh yeah. I'm right, Lindsay. Like, what the fuck is the brother? Like, he came in out of nowhere inside of a trunk of a car. They
Yeah,
threw
gone
his ass
over.
out.
Exactly. Like they were saying, he was thrown out like a dog, like an unwanted dog that pissed too much on the carpet or something.
Maybe he was like a rock person or something, and then after
Yeah.
a while, everyone just got sick of his shit. Maybe he wrote something racist. Oh,
He started watching too much Nerdrotic, bro.
yeah, yeah. Or maybe he prescribed to Achilles Argyle's shit.
Oh God. Oh
Yeah.
my God, dude.
No, 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 because we would be doing worse to him
Yeah,
than
no.
just that. We would
There's
be
not
chopping off his hands so he wouldn't be able to type anymore.
yeah, there's not enough stinky foot fetishism in this movie for that.
Oh yeah, I wanted to mention, for leftists, which She-Hulk is made for, and what a lot of people like, it's big ass butts. And you see, there's another show called House of the Dragon, and it
Uh-huh.
has foot porn, and that's something
It
that Nerdrotic
does.
and all these others love.
I'm
So
sure they do.
yeah, so big butts for left, feet for the
Stinky,
right.
stinky feet for the, I like that. Big asses are for leftists, stinky feet are for the right. We can all come together if
This
we
is why we need you, Eduardo, because like if you're not here, then they're gonna replace all our porn with foot
with foot
fetishes.
fetishism. Yeah, and like I mean, Quentin Tarantino would be happy, but I don't think we all want that. Um,
No,
but yeah,
get it
okay.
away.
So getting back to the brother to the brother aspect of it. Okay, my I all right. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the brother aspect, but I think I kind of understand what the movie is saying a little bit.
The
Like
way. Oh
okay,
yeah, like I'm sorry. Please continue.
yeah, no. So what I was going for was that like the brother, he's like this mysterious figure, you know, and he has like this past and all that shit, which is interesting, and it's frankly a lot more interesting than the couple, in my opinion. Like this guy used to be a rock star and shit. Um, but what I think is what I think is going on is that he represents lust in a weird way, like because he wants to be with the sister, or not with the sister, with his sister-in-law, with his brother's wife. And I think what that's suggesting is that the daughter was his daughter, not his brother's.
Hmm. Well, mysterious is too much for him because, like, at the first one, we already knew what he was. He was a piece of shit, and he was also a rock star.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say lust, yes, because of what we saw. But also, well, we kind of saw him, and here's the thing: this guy, I both like him because he actually represents us. Because when we are with our relatives or something, and we see something like that, like what the
Like what the
fuck is
fuck?
going on?
Yeah,
He really represents the audience. What's
yeah,
this goat thing? What the fuck is that? What's next? The spider?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The spider child, spider boy.
Whoa.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, yeah. So I think, because there's that scene where you think that he's gonna kill the goat kid, right? But
Oh
then
yeah.
you find out that it's a dream, but it's her dream.
Well,
It's yeah. No, go ahead.
for all we know, it might have actually happened, but he changed his mind. But
That's
that's the
true.
thing. Like this brother, I also hate him because, well, what he is.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I took him into my house. I let him stay. I gave him my food. I treated him as good as a brother, and then he does this. Fuck.
yeah. He tries to he tries to sleep with his brother's wife while he's asleep. Yeah, it's a scumbag thing to do, no doubt about it. But that's the thing. Like, he's a scumbag, right? Like, he's probably, and he's a rock star, so he's not going to be around very much. So to me, it sort of justifies and it sort of reinforces the idea that the Ava, the actual child they lost, it was his daughter, and I think she was afraid that he was going to kill the goat kid, or goat Ava, however you want to call her, because like in nature, like father animals will kill
Lions,
offspring. Yeah, like
lions.
lions will kill the cubs of other lions, so that it could only worry about it. So, hey, what's up, Dominic? How you doing, bro? Yeah, like that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, in nature, like certain species of animals will kill cubs that don't belong to them, so that they can ensure you know their seed,
Yeah.
you want to call it. Yeah, that's how I read it.
But like if they really wanted another child, they would have had it with the dad. I mean, it probably wouldn't work, and plus, like that was supposed to be. It kind of felt like jump scare, something that's
Mhm.
supposed to introduce some kind of horror, where like, oh god, Eva could die. Oh shit, and then yeah, okay. And
Yeah, yeah,
I kind of like the interactions between Eva and him. They kind of
yeah,
look good together.
yeah. It was that's a good question, Dom. Dom wants to know, is Lamb a horror movie?
No, no, it's more of a mystery. um is it even action? No, it's more of a mystery thriller movie. That's
I
what I
would
would call
I would say it has a lot of elements of horror. I think one thing that works in towards this movie being a horror movie is that I was constantly in every scene, I kept expecting something awful to happen. Like,
it.
in
Yeah, it has
every
those elements.
Yeah, like in every like the to me, what really worked with this movie, with its pacing, was that, like, it lulls you in to this sort of hypnotic state, but like you're also like you're aware that what's going on is wrong. Like, if like even if the family is happy, you don't feel like this is a good thing, and you keep waiting for something awful to happen, so to the main characters.
Well, yeah, but also nothing in there justifies anything scary. Like even the Goat Man, when it came up, I wouldn't
Yeah.
say it was that scary. I liked the sound design of him. I liked the look of him, but I
Yeah.
didn't feel like holy shit.
Well,
Not like Barbarian.
I felt, yeah, not like Barbarian. I felt holy shit in the sense of, like, yo, is that really a fucking goat man?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. But no, so yeah, I mean, I personally would say it's horror adjacent. It has a lot of horror elements in there, but I think it's not trying to scare the audience. But it is trying to keep the audience in a state where they're always a little bit, uh,
Thriller.
yeah, it's a thriller. There you go. Lindsay says, I'm terrified of horror movies, so for people like me, I'd say it's pretty safe. Didn't really feel scary.
Oh
And
yeah.
and Dom says, I haven't seen Barbarian. I heard it was good, dude. It's like,
Yes, yes, it was. It was very good.
yeah, it's one of my favorite horror movies. It's one of my favorite movies of the whole year, easily. Barbarian's
By the way, can we talk about how progressive Barbarian is? Most people are like Barbarians. Oh my god, like our horror movies, they're so full of men these days. Why don't
yeah,
we have a horror movie with a woman this time? The horror
yeah.
monster, a woman.
By the way, yeah, Dominic says so. So it's more suspenseful. Yeah, I would say it's more suspense. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more suspenseful. And honestly, Dom, this Barbarian is your kind of movie. Dom is he's the host of the podcast that we do on his channel.
Oh, that's
We
cool.
cover a bunch of movies. Yeah, yeah, no, it's a good show. But what was I saying? Yeah, Dom, definitely go see Barbarian, man. It's on HBO Max. That's totally your type of movie. But yeah, back to Lamb. Um, yeah, the brother stuff really threw me off. Um, and honestly, like I really just don't feel. I don't know. I don't. Could I don't. I hate to say that it was completely unnecessary because it did allow the audience to have a surrogate, but like at the same time, I really feel like it. I really feel like it muddied the water a little bit. You know, Lindsay, I heard Long. It was her Long was on that act. The act. Yeah, no, Justin Long's great in it. Dom.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, how do you feel about like the just having the brother there and how it affected the story?
The brother was really a good plot device, which
Yeah,
is it's really good to see an interaction between all these characters with, like, as far as we know, the most normal character there.
yeah,
And there we got some good interactions with Eva, and we
mhm,
also got a lot of good interactions with the characters.
yeah,
We also got a separation from, like, the mother, because before that the mother would be there the whole time
mhm,
and she would be with the dad, and this whole thing would just be going on with this. And the brother, well, now once the mother forced him to go over there with, like, the bus. That way, we got them out of there, and we got to see the suspenseful conclusion of what
right,
happened. But
yeah.
we can have that if like the brother was there. The mother would just be there the whole time.
Yeah, no, and I mean, also it kind of speaks to her character. By the way, Lindsay said I thought this movie
Oh
was gonna
yeah,
take a cringe, creepy uncle turn after the grass feeding thing. Yeah, no, I kind of got that too. It did feel a little
yeah,
predatory. Yeah, that's there's one thing that the uncle that the brother character really added. It was like that like what the fuck's gonna happen now, right? So I mean, I guess
yeah,
okay, so let's put it this way. I came into this like not really digging the whole brother aspect, but now
yeah.
that we've
Me
talked
too.
about it, I'm coming around. I'm coming around. I'm appreciating what his place in the story.
Do you know why I like this? It's like whenever I see these podcasts talking about this stuff and I play Duel Links on my phone, they
Hmm.
never change their opinions about anything. That's why I don't like EFAP. They never do
Right.
anything. And I give
Yeah.
you another perspective. You like it or you don't like it, and it's cool. But
Hmm.
like I give you a perspective. It's not the same thing all the time. But the
Yeah.
brother, to go back to that, yeah, the reason why we hate him and the reason why we don't yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why we don't want the brother there is very natural. He's a piece of shit, but like,
Hmm.
he has a place in the story at least.
Yeah. And not just that, but like the fact that she just kind of gets rid of him, not that much different than how she gets rid of of the mother goat. It kind of says a lot about how the mother character sort of deals with her problems, which also kind of like gives a very fucked up sort of interpretation of the final shot, right? Because she does like, I mean, you could also read that she has like a sense of relief, you know, and it's the same relief that she had when the mother goat died, when she killed the mother goat, when she got rid of the brother, and when somebody took the goat baby away from her. So it actually like kind of really shades her character in a very dark light.
Well, as much as that shade is there, it also shows her strength. She's not
Hmm.
in that shade all the time. She's
No.
great with the brother at the first one when he wasn't a threat to the family.
Yeah.
She's great with the goat and tried to treat her like any other agriculturalist. It's
Hmm.
just when you threaten the family of it is when this dark turn starts. That's the way it always handles the entire position of the thing.
That's right.
Like taking the goat out back because that's the goat that stole her kid one time and wouldn't shut up no time at any point. Taking the brother out of there because he was like there. If you don't have sex with me, I'm going to tell everyone.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell Eva. Like, of course, anyone would do that. So
Right.
like, she's the one who can handle herself under pressure.
Hmm.
But this whole issue was that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I mean, at the end, I don't think she's coming because what's she really gonna do? Like the goats are off; they're all over they're out of there. How's she supposed to track them? How's she supposed to find them? Like
No, no, yeah, I could see that. So let's move
the
on
dark
to.
return, I would a little bit disagree. It does exist, but the reason why it's there is because she's triggered. You
Mhm.
know?
Right. You mean why she gets rid of the brother? I didn't catch that first part of what you were saying.
Oh,
Sorry.
the reason why it exists is because that's what happens when she's triggered.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Right. Yeah, that's how she reacts in a moment of crisis, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and kind of talk about the last part of the movie here, which is where it takes a real turn, man. The father comes back looking for his baby.
Yeah.
Um, and if you ask me, like in the last half, I would honestly say like the last act of the movie, it's borderline a horror movie in my opinion.
Yeah, it does have horror movie elements, but like the design of the character, I mean,
Hmm.
horror movies, they're made to make you scared of the shot, like just scared of what it looks like. The Goat
Right.
Man, he looked a little clean. He looked a little nice. I liked his sound design and everything. But the way
You're
he shot the gun, well, yeah, it more felt like vengeance to me because
Yeah.
you motherfuckers killed my wife and took my kid. Fuck you. I'm going to do what you do to us every day.
Yeah. And that's definitely how it sort of how it sort of read. I was for a minute there, like I thought this is gonna take like a cheat. I was almost the movie almost lost me for a bit because I was like, don't tell me you look like a school mascot.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, but no, like for a minute there, I was like, man, don't tell me we got a zombie goat walking around here. Like I
Holy
was like,
shit.
what the fuck, dude? Did the mother goat rise from the dead and learn how to walk on two legs? But no,
You motherfuckers.
but
You
honestly,
ain't seen pissed off yet.
yeah, no, dude, but like honestly, like I thought it was a smart move that we see it in the reflection of of Ava's eyes, and we don't really
Mhm.
understand it because for a minute there, you really are like afraid because you're not entirely sure what you saw. And I think once we get that reveal, you're right. It's not really played for scares, but it is kind of like, oh shit, okay, I
Yeah, did you
get it.
forget that he was there?
No, it wasn't so much that he was there. It was that like I guess I didn't understand what this movie was trying to say or what it was trying to do until we see the father goat man, you know?
It's the natural order of things, like the
Yeah.
goat man is the father and he feels betrayed by the people in the agriculture, or it's just a way for him to take his daughter back.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, and it's a cycle. I think is what the movie's kind of ultimately saying is that nature is a sort of like I'm an atheist and all, but like that saying, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
Yeah,
I think it's just this. I think that's what the movie's exploring, but the movie is saying God is nature. God is yeah, God
if
is
you control goats, the goats are going to take it back.
yeah, no, well, I mean, if there is a God, right? Like, if there is a God, it makes sense that that all living things express His will.
That is
So,
true. That is true.
to
I'm not
me,
an atheist, but I do believe that there's some kind of like a force out there. But
yeah,
yeah, that is a very good way of looking at it in this
mhm,
movie because the goats are like frolicking and they're all thing and like they're not able to do that anymore. They have tags on their ears. They got to be like dictated where to go and how to go. The human goat was almost like a freeing thing because that thing's the only thing that can take control over anything.
yeah, no, yeah, definitely, and I think also, um, yeah, like I think ultimately what the movie is kind of like landing on when it's all said and done, it's not just so much like the cyclical nature, the sort of give and take, the cyclical nature of nature, I guess you could say it. But I
Yeah.
think it's also just kind of like I don't know, I guess what I'm still confounded on when it comes to this movie is that like it took a lot of, and it's not confounded like in a bad way, because I'm really fascinated by that familiar theme, that familiar idea was expressed through this like this weird family dynamic and all that. Like I guess overall, I went into this being a little more mixed on it, man, but now that we've talked about it, like I think I like this movie.
Yeah, well, that's the way it's supposed to be, like that Tom Bombadil character. I sure you don't like it, but like after I told you, it's a kids thing,
Yeah.
like you have a new appreciation for it.
No,
But in
no,
my
I
opinion,
I get his place in the story. I get his place in the books. I don't know if I'm gonna go back and reread them or anything,
nah.
but yeah, but I do. At least I understand why he's there. I literally did not understand before you mentioned that.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of movie had some stock value with some of the animal scenes, but I'm sensitive ASF. Oh,
Yeah, no,
you know.
that's my girlfriend. That's Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay.
Hey there, Lindsay.
Yeah. No, yeah, she, she has to sit through a lot of my weird movie stuff.
Hey
She,
man, like you like movies? That's your hobby. Like,
yeah.
and let me tell you, women are great because some women actually got to be the wife of like the quartering. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm not sure how any human being could stand the quartering, but
Yeah.
somehow, some way, some woman actually likes him. I mean, that's something
I
that H3H3 I think talks about too.
No, no, yeah, but I've also heard rumors that they're not a very happy couple, you
Of
know.
course, they're not.
I've heard stuff like in the weeds that their marriage is not doing great and stuff. That's all that
Yeah, I
it's
saw it
all
in the
rumor and
stream.
hearsay. And another thing too is the my insider with Gary over at Nerdrotic, like that surprises the shit out of me. That really does. Like, I don't want to say too much, but apparently, like his wife is a magnificent human being. Like,
Yeah, I saw
nobody,
that whole thing you showed. Like, she was great.
yeah, like nobody who knows them has anything bad to say about the wife. But at the same time, like she supports him. Like she helps design the merch and all that. So like it's weird to think
Not
like
only her, her son too. Like
her
that whole
son
thing that
too.
comes nerderotic.com.
Yeah, that's weird that he had his kid say that.
Yeah,
He sounds really young, like too young to be even thinking about that stuff, or at least talking about it with his dad like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap up the review here on Lamb. So I take it that you're a big fan of this movie.
I would say I am. I liked it because this is one of the movies where it's not trying to be funny. Like it
Hmm.
has nothing really funny about it besides the situational comedy. It's
Right.
not trying to be horrifying. It's just showing some scenes where something might be going on in the back. It's not trying to be anything except what it is.
Yeah.
Like it's just a story about people raising a goat person. Like it's not trying anything. It's just letting the movie progress as it goes.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's a very minimal story. Like it's a very concise, very tight movie, in my opinion.
Hmm.
I enjoyed the sort of like hypnotic pace to it. Like it's slow, but it's never like overstaying its welcome. Like it all feels very purposeful. Uh, and honestly, man, like it's a movie that if you watch this movie and you don't like it, like talk about it with people, like
Yeah,
because I think this is one of those movies. Clearly, from having this conversation, this is one of those movies that really benefits from just having someone to talk to about it,
I know,
uh,
right?
and to explore the themes of it. And honestly, that's what movies, good movies should do that. Like good movies should be fun to talk about, and I think any movie that can inspire this much conversation and that can move someone like me who was kind of on it at the beginning, but now I'm like thumbs up. Yeah, that's what good movies do.
I wonder if like this is the first part where A24 did that whole chapter thing because it appeared in Everything Everywhere at Once.
That's true. That's true. I'm thinking about early A24. I No, that could be it. Yeah, that could be one of the first times that happened in an A24 movie for sure.
There's a lot to appreciate from this movie,
Yeah.
like from the way it designs everything, from the way it shows
The
everything.
sound design, especially the sound design.
On the Goat Man too. Wow.
Yeah, but not just that, but I really like how the how Ava, like she sounded like half goat, half child. Like it had like it,
Ooh.
it went bad, but it also had like human like vocal effects.
Oh yeah. That Ava sound, like I don't remember it too well, but I did like the way it was. I mean, all Bas kind of sound the same to me, so I didn't really pay attention to it too
Yeah,
much.
no, but if you listen to me as a musician, like you can definitely hear some like modulation going on between like two different sound sources. I mean, I just thought, I mean, you're right. Like, yeah, ba is a ba, but like I've never heard, I've never heard a ba like that. If that makes any sense, you know what
I'm
I mean?
so glad you noticed that. Thanks.
Yeah. No, no, yeah, like that's I think that was intentional. And honestly, dude, like I didn't notice a lot of stuff until you pointed it out again. So yeah, thumbs up on your end.
Thank you. Thank you. And thumbs up on yours.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and
Oh,
call. Go ahead.
oh wait, let me cap this off by showing you by reading the mythological source of this goat man.
Okay.
Ah, according to urban legend, Goatman is a creature resembling a goat-human hybrid, often credited with canine deaths. Remember that time when the Goatman came in and killed that
Okay.
dog,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and purported to take refuge in the woods of Prince George's country, Maryland, United States. So it's a creature right here in the U.S. of A.
It's funny. It's funny. That's really funny because I was getting a lot of witch vibes from the witch.
Yeah.
You know the witch, right?
Oh yeah.
The witch
Like
takes place in the northeast United States.
Well, yeah, like there might be a witch out there mixing animals and humans together.
Right? Yeah. How else could have happened? No, no. I don't think they're really connected, but it's funny. Like I don't know if the filmmakers intended that, but like that is funny that like there is that connection between the witch and Lamb. Have you seen the witch?
Oh, The Witch. No, I have seen like an image of it in HBO
Oh,
Max, but do you recommend it?
I love that movie. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Ooh.
100%. That's a great movie. So I don't want to spoil anything for you because you haven't seen it, but goats.
Oh, yeah, I
That's
saw
what
the
I'll say.
image out there. I knew
That's
what
what
it
I'll
was.
say.
Maybe there's a witch out there trying to make its goat human hybrid army coming in to take over the world.
Maybe it's in The Witch, I
Yeah.
recommend it. So yeah, is there anything else you want to add before we head out?
Oh, well, I was going to ask, did you see the rest of that stream? Because I was actually in that from Organized Chaos. And but after you get past the Star Wars parts, did you see
Uh,
it?
Are you talking about yesterday's stream with the two guys?
Yeah, yeah. After a
Yeah.
while, I got to go in there
No,
and
I heard the whole thing today. Yeah, definitely.
oh, yeah, like
That was
it just
wild.
went 0 to what the fuck for so fast.
That went wild, dude. I mean, that was honestly we were yeah, I was talking about it with Bob and Dane earlier today. And that I told him, dude, that just that debate alone did so much for like what we're trying to do, you know? Um
Yeah.
because I mean all racist slur aside,
Yeah.
just straight up hard R N word aside, they didn't come in with the same like aggro energy as that Austin Chu guy did.
That's the thing. They started out by telling us they streamed this book and they're streamers and like what the fuck were they thinking?
Yeah, yeah, and not just that, but like I really feel like they like they didn't come in very prepared, and I think to their credit, like when they did move the needle for themselves in a couple of places, but I think also like seeing those guys just try so hard to not acknowledge like racism and then to just say the N word, like that's who these guys are.
And
That's what
that's
you
what
ever
I
heard.
tried to do back in the day. That's how I can tell this is such a problem with Arch
Yeah.
Warhammer. Yeah,
No,
but
no, go ahead.
oh yeah, like that's one of the problems in YouTube, you know. Every time I go to a comment section of all these channels, it's like, do these people think? These people know what's going on. This
Yeah.
is why I'm kind of like happy that you're not as big as organized
Hmm.
because I don't like to call it privilege, but it's like lucky. I use the word lucky because each country has its own variant of luck.
Hmm.
But like if you were more famous, like you would be getting the double toasted treatment where like people literally use the N word on these guys in their stream in their
Well,
East.
if someone were to say that on my chat, they get banned right out. I wouldn't stand for that.
Yeah.
But definitely like yeah, that was a wild fucking debate. For those who don't know what we're talking about, Organized Chaos and actual fandom did a 2v2 debate on his channel yesterday on November 3rd. And he was debating Rags fans, which dude, like, why would anybody? I don't understand how anybody could like sit there and watch Rags or
They think it's
Baller.
real. They think the way he talks and his voice inflections are real, but
Well,
it's
it's not
not.
just
That's why he has an animated character. He
right,
edits all that stuff after the fact.
and it's not just that, but they're boring. They're just fucking boring.
I
Like
know, right? Like
they're not
all they
fun.
do is just sit down and talk. Like that's all they do. We do
Yeah,
this for fun, but like these guys, what's there to be so impressed about?
yeah. I mean, I understand that my channel is me just sitting there and talking, but I try to stay to the point and I try to be entertaining. And
Not
I
racist?
and not racist, yeah, and not just that, but like these guys, Mahler and Rag specifically, they're just wanking it, dude. They think so highly of themselves, and
Yeah.
the T,
The
yeah,
tea?
Lindsay was watching it with me yesterday. Yeah, but these guys, they're just wanking themselves off. Like they clearly think they're very intelligent. Um,
No.
and the thing is that with people who like that kind of shit, those are the kind of people who want other people to do the thinking for them. It's so wild to me how these guys are so ridiculously critical of like everything that I do, that Organized Chaos does, or any of their critics do, but they don't give like an ounce of that thought, that critical analysis to the channels they like.
I don't
You know?
understand how people can look so much can look at the world and call everything else so horrible and not look at themselves either. Like I
Right.
don't understand.
No, I agree. That's all these dudes' problems. Like they want to say it's the world that's woke. It's I'm not the problem, like
At this
the
point,
the
like,
world that's wrong. Am I out of touch? No, it's the children.
oh yeah, the woke word. Like it came in the Vietnam War. The people who were like who were like hippies used to be used that as an anti-war message. Now it's an
Mhm.
anti-racism message, and it's literally the same word we use as based in video gaming, which
Yeah,
is just getting it high as fuck and then just playing and being really good at it. So
yeah,
it literally means based, which is funny because Rags uses woke as a consequence, but based as a good thing.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, let's face it. To these guys, based is whenever someone gets away with saying the N word.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
man.
thing. Also, I got another mask off videos for you. All right,
Okay.
so these guys, they're called Smud Boy. The stream is 2 hours long, but if you ever want to see people literally go racist over it,
Smud
you
boy.
gotta watch these people.
Right on, man. No, you know what? Go ahead and Smud Boy. I'll try to remember that for the
Smud
weekend.
Boy for Double Toasted. Now that guy, what the fuck happened there? Like,
That's crazy, man. Well, yeah, man. I'm gonna go ahead and go ahead and cut off the stream right
and
there.
of
I
course,
gotta.
I gotta ask you, I gotta tell you, as your fan, if you ever want to stop this whole like these people hate cinema, I would, as my reaction, it would be like, oh, okay, well, I wonder what kind of music video he makes now. That's it. Like, I'm
No,
not.
no. Honestly, man, like I like the thing is to be totally real with you. These guys, it's the same video. They're all making the same video.
That's why
You
we
know?
gotta look at like, as my personal theory. That's why we
Hmm.
gotta look at the implications of this
Yeah.
because that's where we can finally see what's going on in this because they literally don't want black actors to do their job. That's
Yeah.
literally the same argument that your people, the Mexico, tried to stop. Like
Mhm.
the founding fathers didn't intend black people to be citizens.
Well, they
That's
didn't.
literally what they're doing.
Well, they also didn't intend people who don't own property to vote either. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, if you really want to go all the way back, let's go all the way back.
Mm.
No, yeah. The thing is, I like doing these people hate cinema. I enjoy it. Like, I do enjoy. I like debates. I like picking apart. I like critical reasoning. I like deduction. I like debates and stuff like that. But like I really do want to expand the what I do with it to speak more with the fans, but until then, like I really don't like as long as I get like a good break, good 2 or 3 week break every now and then, like I could do this for a while, in my opinion.
Go
Like
ahead, man. Like,
it's
and if you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. I'm
yeah,
not gonna think any worse of it.
well, I
Like,
appreciate that.
there are plenty of other channels out there. One of them was like debates with the third fandom menace, not debates,
Mhm.
but like makes videos about him. His production value is like super high, But what I hope you could be in the future is like Shark 300, where you
Yeah.
literally make fun of every single inch of the screen that these people are on.
You know what, man? That would be a pretty good way for it, all this to turn out, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like organized chaos is called organized clown. One of these days, he's gonna be like Arthur Fleck, just like we live in a society.
I think organized chaos is he's a good guy. I think he's a little too mellow to go that ham, you know.
I know, right? Like that's
Yeah.
the coolest thing, you know. But I just love to see him suffering. I just love to see him in a video with Reaper, just going like, "Oh
I haven't seen that Reaper video yet, but I'll be sure to
no,
check.
dude, you gotta see it. It's like kill me." His video title is "Kill Me."
Oh God. All right, Mikayel. I'll talk to you later. All right.
All right, good. Be sure to call me up anytime you want, and see you soon, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely, like anytime you want, man.
Yeah, thank you for that, man. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, and also watch that Discord vid I showed you. Like
Oh no, yeah, I
Gumball,
saw
man.
that.
Holy shit, man! Gumball got away with so much.
Yeah. Oh, all right, Mikayel. I'll talk to you later. Okay.
All right, see ya.
Have a good weekend.
You
Peace.
too.